Ever since being made famous by such debonair men as U.S. President Teddy Roosevelt, the world has been enamored with the Panama hat, a dashing symbol of dignity and worldliness. It's a very sad and unfair truth, but the fact remains, if you want to do something big in this world, you have to have a great hat. Indiana Jones had a great hat, the Vikings, Mr. Peanut, and I need a great hat. So, aiming to follow in such well-regarded footsteps, I set out in search of the most authentic of Panama hats, in the town that used to boast a non-stop flurry of orders and artists, Montecristi, Ecuador. See, back in the early 1900s, all shipments of the hats traveled from Ecuador through the Panama Canal on their way to US and Europe. Workers on the canal took note and started sporting them, thus earning the name Panama hats. And, without a Made in Ecuador stamp anywhere on them, the name stuck, which meant it was time to both find one of these handmade treasures as well as set the record straight. But, upon arrival in Montecristi, the non-stop flurry of orders and artists were nowhere to be found. It seemed even the residents had forgotten that once they had laid claim to a fashion powerhouse that created the most popular hat that a man could wear. Today, the town was basically deserted, the hat-making industry having been diminished since the late 90s by the increase of internet access to cheap knockoffs. But I wasn't interested in a fake. I was determined to find the real thing from a true artist, which meant it was going to take some looking around. On a dusty corner, I found Victoria Pache, one of the last true remaining Panama hat makers.
Hola. Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
For more than 30 years, she has handled the entire process herself, from picking the straw to the back-breaking work of weaving it, ironing the hat, and then shaping it. An art most recently added to the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage List, but still quickly becoming antiquated. As in the rest of the town, there was a certain sadness to the shop. The boxes ready to be mailed had begun to pile up over the years, and the previous lines of visitors had diminished. Her once thriving shop was now more of a museum, a testament to an art that goes back almost 200 years. But nonetheless, Victoria was still actively making hats, even the super fino, the highest grade of Panama hat available, and one that takes an unbelievable amount of time to make.
6 meses para un super fino.
6 meses.
6 meses.
Para uno sombrero.
Para un sombrero.
This is going to be the Ferrari of all hats, and it's going to come with a Ferrari-like price tag, $1,200. When rolled up, the super fino should be able to fit through a gentleman's wedding ring, and when turned upside down, it should be able to hold water. But since I didn't have $1,200 lying around, I decided to purchase a normal, a respectable grade just below the super fino, but one that's only going to run $150, a small price to pay for a fashionable piece of art, and one that is quickly becoming a thing of the past, unless buyers make the effort to purchase the real thing.